Now that God had the army that he wanted, now that God was ready, now that God was prepared, now that he was ready to go into battle, it was time for our second step. And the second step to winning this type of war is a winning strategy. Now that God had the army he wanted, now that they were prepared, now that they were ready to go in, now it's time to tell them the plan. I'm going to go back to the military thing, right? You don't just, it's not, at least the war movies I've seen, granted, now, if you've been in the military, don't mock me. I haven't been there. I'm just going off of what I know, right? I've never seen a war movie where whoever the general was or whoever the commander was goes into battle and is like, all you guys with guns, go get them. They always have a plan, right? There's always a very clear path to winning that battle. It's never a case where they're just going to go, do your best. Come back with whatever you do, If half of you come back, way to go. It doesn't work like that. They have a very good strategy that they can go in and win this war. God had a strategy for Gideon. God wasn't just going to send him in, okay, you got the 300, I told you you'd win, go win. No, God wanted Gideon to be prepared. So he has a winning strategy. Look with me at Judges verses 19 through 18 in chapter 7. It says, that same night the Lord said to him, arise, go down against the camp, for I have given it to you into your hand. But if you are afraid to go down to the camp with Purah your servant, and you shall hear what they say. And afterwards your hand shall be strengthened to go down against the camp. Then he went down with Purah his servant to the outposts of the armed men who were in the camp. And the Midianites and the Amalekites and all the people of the east lay along the valley like locusts in abundance. And their camels were without number as the sand that is on the seashore in abundance. Then Gideon came. Behold, a man was telling a dream to his comrade, and he said, behold, I dreamed a dream, and behold, a cake of barley bread tumbled into the camp of Midian and came down to the tent and struck it, so it fell and turned it upside down, so that the tent lay flat. And his comrade answered, this is none other than the sword of Gideon, the son of Joash, a man of Israel. God has given into his hand Midian and all the camp. As soon as Gideon heard the telling of this dream and its interpretation, he worshipped, and he returned to the camp of Israel, and he said, arise, for the Lord has given the host of Midian into your hand. And he divided the 300 men into 3 companies and put trumpets into the hands of all of them and empty jars, with torches inside the jars. And he said to them, look at me and do likewise. When I come to the outskirts of the camp, do as I do. When I blow the trumpet, and all who are with me, then blow the trumpets also on every side of the camp and shout, for the Lord and for Gideon. I would have no problem with the Bible flat out saying Gideon was a little worried, right? It doesn't say that. It doesn't. But it does say that God looked at Gideon and God wanted to give Gideon that last little bit of reassurance, that last little cattle prod saying, I got you, you're okay. And God did this in 2 ways, right? First of all, does God need to do this for Gideon at this point? Of course not. At this point, you would go looking back, reading the Bible, reading the text, you'd go, how much proof do you need, Gideon? Go in and do your job. Luckily, we're not God. I would probably need that little extra prod. I'd need that little extra push saying, I got you. I know you're worried. I've got you. And God gives Gideon 2 ways to again say, I've got you. Let's go. The first way in verse 9, God flat out tells Gideon again, you're going to win the war. I'm handing them over to you. It's done. It's over. I know you're worried. I know you don't have many men. You've already won the war. I'm telling you. It's over. Whether they know it or not, it's over. I've handed them over to you. Great. But then he says, if you're worried, go down to the camp and check it out. Gideon goes down to the camp. It says that they were numbered like locusts. It says that their camels outnumbered the sand on the shore. Imagine how intimidating that would be to look at that ginormous army. Gideon goes down and he goes next to one specific tent and he overhears these men talking. Luck? I don't think so. Chance? Probably not. You think God directed him to that tent? Absolutely. He goes to this tent and he hears them say, oh, dude, I had this dream. It was crazy. In this dream, this loaf of barley came down and it hit the tent and the tent flips upside down flat. And it's kind of creepy. And his friend interprets the dream, or at least he thinks he interprets the dream, or he goes, oh, I know what that means. See, by now they know that Gideon's army is on the other hill. I mean, you don't have an army of 135,000 people that gets surprised by another army showing up next door. And he says, no. You know what that is? There's this guy named Gideon. He's the Israelites, and he's the leader of their army. Apparently, their God has said that he's going to hand us over to him. That's what that dream means. We're toast. We're done. And now Gideon's like, oh, time to go to war. Rock and roll. God told me we're good to go. Now they told me we're good to go. They just told me they're going to lose. It's easy for his servant to go, Gideon, God came to me in a dream and he said we're going to win. Well, he told me the same thing. I believe we're going to win, sure. But when your enemy, the person you're going to fight, basically tells you, we're going to lose this thing. Man, talk about a confidence booster. Now Gideon's ready to go to war. Gideon's like, take all 300 men, send me in by myself. I'm ready to go. I think that we can all agree that not everyone is suited to lead, right? Not everyone's going to be a general in an army. There aren't that many of them, I think. I'm guessing. But everybody has a job that's suited to them perfectly, right? In the military, everyone has a job that suits them perfectly. They find out where they work the best, and that's where they go. Not everyone's meant to lead. Some people are meant to follow. I think that we would argue that Gideon is a guy that if we were looking at him, we would go, this dude's not meant to lead. This guy's not the guy that should be leading God's army. He's a fraidy cat. He has no faith at all. God has to tell him 18 times that he's going to win the war before he believes him. But God looks at him, God goes, this is my guy. I know him. I know what he can do for me. I know what it's going to take, but I know that through him, we win. God's going to look at us and we're going to go, nope, I am a follower. I am a private in this army, thank you very much. And God might look at you and go, nope, you're the guy that's going to lead. You're the girl that's going to lead. And we might ask him 14, 15 times, well, luckily, he has grace and he'll say 14 or 15 times, you're the guy, you're the girl that's going to lead.